Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to mourn the loss of Mortal Kombat 1. This game should have lasted a lot longer, but it didn't. Ed Boon said that this game was going to last a while.
For years and thousands.
He was wrong. I would like to say a couple words. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have some very exciting news to talk about for Mortal Kombat 1, and to be honest, I think this is some surprising news. I was not expecting this to come out so early, or what we were confirmed to hear from Ed Boon himself today. We now have some very exciting news as for the future of Mortal Kombat, and a majority of it has to do with confirmations of future updates. However, we also have an incredibly exciting time coming up for EVO Mortal Kombat 1. I cannot wait for Havoc, T1000, and Cyrax, because that's all you're going to see in the top 8. But let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes. While you're here, there will be changes for this game. As per this tweet right here, we look forward to players showcasing their skills at the highest level at this year's EVO 25 tournament. Soon after, we will be releasing some exciting changes for Mortal Kombat 1. As always, we'd love to hear feedback from the community on potential changes. Stay tuned for more. Now, if you're a Mortal Kombat 1 fan, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, this is very exciting news, because we knew they were doing more updates, but we haven't had a patch in some time. So a lot of players thought that maybe the game was done. However, they confirmed that this is not the case. And a lot of players have assumed that this patch will indeed be the final patch of the game. This is all we're going to see from Mortal Kombat 1. However, we got even more confirmation from the Boonster himself that that is not the case. Super made this tweet talking about how he thought it would be the final patch for MK1, and Ed Boon confirms next patch being final is highly unlikely. This is honestly pretty massive news, because it makes the future of Mortal Kombat 1 pretty unclear. We know they're not doing any more DLC, we know they're not doing any more crazy cameos or anything like that, but it sounds like they are planning on continuing to update this game and use balance patches to support it. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't really count this as Ed Boon's promise. This is the longest supported Mortal Kombat game. I'm glad they're doing patches. I would like some characters. I'm not sure why we're doing patches and not just doing a final DLC pack, but you know what? Whatever. As the Finny says right here, if it's just a balanced patch, after a balanced patch, then we don't consider those. I'm not really sure on how much I agree with that statement. I'm glad that we're getting more balanced patches, and truth be told, I'm super thankful that they're actually continuing to balance this game, because it is in a horrible state right now. But I think there is something to be said that if you're going to continue to support the game, why not just do a final DLC pack? This game has less characters than your other games. Why not? I think everyone would be kind of happy about that, especially if you added more cosmetics. Which actually brings me right back to this tweet, because they say, as always, we'd love to hear feedback from the community on potential changes. Based on that, I might do a completely separate video on all the changes they should make to Mortal Kombat 1 to make this for their final patch, to make every character feel balanced and feel fun to play and not like they're fighting the most cheesy broken bullshit ever. But for this video, I think we should discuss all of the things that they could do to actually make this game their best Mortal Kombat yet, because I think that this Mortal Kombat game has the most potential out of any game they have ever made. It just needs a step in the right direction. If you're looking at a game like Mortal Kombat 11, this game, which came out way before MK1, has 3 different gear slots, an insane amount of gear. It literally has more gear per gear slot than you have per character in Mortal Kombat 1. And even though a lot of it is just recolors and a lot of it is just whatever, the customization and the feeling of being able to change your character's appearance that this added really added levels to Mortal Kombat 11. It made Mortal Kombat 11 feel worth it to grind offline. MK1 is a hollow arcade game. All you can do is play online. All you can do is grind Combat League. Mortal Kombat 11 fixed that by having things to grind for, by having character towers, by having wonderful customization. Look at this, we're on the second gear piece, every character has 3, in Mortal Kombat 1 you only have 1 gear piece, and you're seeing Spawn has more armbands than Scorpion has masks. That should not be the case. That's not how the game should work. So if you guys really want to do a final patch and you really want to work on something to fix this game, you don't have to release new characters, but yeah, you've got to do something about the customization in this game. My characters don't look cool at all. If I want them to get good palettes, I have to wait for like 6 months for the season to come around. It's just not a good system. I think that it was perfected in MK11. Injustice 2 had a great gear system, don't get me wrong. The only issue is that the gear had stats, which was absolutely horrific. But if you really want to bring this game back up to par with MK11, with MKX even, make there more customization. Every character pretty much looks the same in this game, and the only characters that have decent customization are the DLC characters that don't even get new palettes. Speaking of Mortal Kombat 11, there is another thing that Mortal Kombat 11 did better, which I don't think should ever be removed from a Mortal Kombat game ever. This was a fantastic system for offline grinding. The Mortal Kombat 11 towers were absolutely perfect. You could do all sorts of things with just the normal towers, and there are character towers where you can actually select the character that you want and get brutalities, get gear, fatalities. You could get a bunch of cool stuff for these characters just by completing their specific tower that is tuned to the character itself. I have no idea why they moved on from this, because towers are a staple. They were in the first Mortal Kombat game of all time. No one's ever complained about towers, and I think everyone universally agreed that this system was pretty awesome. And the fact that they got rid of this was honestly a really bad decision in my opinion. And finally, I think it's time to allow people to pick specific invasion seasons that they want to grind. I don't think invasions is that bad anymore, but if you're gonna have palettes specifically available through different seasons, why do I have to wait to access them? Let me just pick the seasons that you've already released so I can grind them all out and finish them all. I know they're doing this thing where they're adding new DLC palettes or whatever. Dude, just add that to like towers or whatever. Towers are useless in Mortal Kombat 1. We've already established that everybody likes towers, so if you can make the customization in this game better and make it more accessible for people, I really believe that this game will be a lot more fun for the offline casual player who doesn't want to grind online all day like a bot and sit there and be a Combat League Evo champion. That is why this game isn't very fun to play offline. That's why you see people still on Injustice, people still on MK11. Those games are fun to grind offline and make your character look cool. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, those are all of the changes that I would make for Mortal Kombat 1, and I really hope that they will listen. I don't think that that's going to happen, honestly, because the game is kind of on its last couple legs. I think we're going to see a lot of good balance changes, hopefully, maybe new moves, some exciting stuff on that front, but I would honestly doubt if they would add new customization. I really do think, though, if they wanted to go that extra mile and add new customization options, it would add a lot to the game and people would be very happy about it. But with all that being said, I will catch you guys in my next video. This has been Big Flounder. Thank you so much for watching and peace out.